だから2日目の麺はグルテンいっぱいできちゃってるんですよ。だから打ちたての麺しか使わないみたいな。そうです。
That morning, our crew went to Kameido, on Tokyo's eastern side, to meet our latest ramen crazy. Inside a small neighborhood ramen shop called Men Fujisaki. Its owner, Mizuki Fujisaki. We stayed with him from the quiet hours before opening. We watched him work. We listened to him speak. And we tried to understand the ramen this man is attempting to build. This is Chapter 1, House-Made Noodles. This time, his entire ramen philosophy is about to detonate. A warning. This man is seriously ramen crazy. Proceed with caution.
朝する作業を教えてください。
製麺と、
はい。
今日スープあるんでスープと、
スープ。
あと切れてないネギがあるんでネギカットと、
ネギカット。
ワンタン詰めたいでワンタンと、はい、あとフォールの準備ぐらいですかね。ぐらいです。
はい。Noodles, soup, wontons, garnishes. Before the doors open, the work behind a single bowl comes crashing in from every direction. Common sense says the noodles could be made the day before, or made in larger batches. That would make his mornings easier. But Fujisaki refuses. No matter how much work it creates, he makes his noodles inside the shop every morning. Why deliberately choose the harder path? We followed him to find out.
今7種類ですかね。別に入れたら美味しくなるわけじゃないんで。入れればいい。当たり前じゃないですか。そうです。入れればいいみたいな。そういう話ではないですけど。
At the time of filming, Fujisaki was using 7 varieties of Japanese wheat flour. But this is not a flour collection. Adding more varieties does not make a noodle great. Fujisaki is searching for something far less visible, not simply strength, but the sweetness and aroma hidden inside the wheat. He is trying to carry what he believes is wheat's truest flavor all the way into the customer's mouth, as intact as possible.
まだ未熟ですけど、そのいただいている食材をちゃんと生かしてラーメンにしてあげたいみたいな思いがあって、小麦に関して言うんだったら、国産小麦の良さって僕が教わったところによるとでんぷん質の良さがあると思ってるんですよね。その甘さと香りと、それを生かしてあげるように麺を配合してるって感じです。そのグルテンを作っちゃうとでんぷんがマスキングされちゃうんですよ。だからグルテンを作んない作り方をしなきゃいけなくて、複合とかも1回だったりとか、優しく打つんですけど、でもそれだけだとどうしても柔らかくて。
Now, things become complicated. Gluten gives noodles structure and elasticity. For ramen noodles, it is essential. But Fujisaki believes that developing too much gluten can obscure the qualities he wants to preserve in the wheat, so he tries not to make the dough too strong. He combines the dough sheets only once, and he handles them as gently as possible. But if he restrains the gluten too much, the noodles become soft. Strength is necessary, but too much strength can bury the very thing he wants to protect. Fujisaki's noodles are built on an almost absurd contradiction, and we have only reached the entrance.
だからお酢入れればグルテン作らずに、要は火入った時に茹で麺機に入れるじゃないですか、麺を。その時に固まるじゃないですか、自然的に。小麦感をよりそのお客様に伝えるために下支えとしてお酢とか卵を入れてるっていうイメージです、僕は。だからこれのおかげでグルテン作んなくていいんで、でんぷんの良さが残ったままでの麺ができるみたいな。
Enter eggs and vinegar. We did not expect vinegar to become such an important character in a ramen film.
なんかお酢の匂いしますね。
そうそうそうそう。
めっちゃお酢の匂いが。すごいな、これは。
富士スプレミアムいいっす。美味しい。
さっきの一升瓶のやつです。
はい、富士スプレミアムですね。
But for Fujisaki, neither the egg nor the vinegar is the star. They are not there to create a louder flavor. According to his working theory, they help support the texture of the noodle while allowing the qualities of the wheat to remain at the front. He is adding ingredients, but the added ingredients are not what he wants us to notice. The final thing he wants to deliver is the wheat itself.
26度。
はい。
いいですか、この温度は。
OK です。
OK。
25ぐらいで収めたいです。やっぱ温度低い方がやっぱグルテンできないじゃないですか。甘いですよね。24とかでやってあげると。
Fujisaki is watching more than the ingredients. From the moment he touches the dough, it begins to change. Mix, press, roll, rest. Every action alters its condition. Fujisaki had reduced these complicated changes to 3 elements, 3 forces controlling the fate of the dough.
力と時間と熱効果、この3つなんですよ。ミキシングは回してるじゃないですか。であれ力で、かつ20分とかやったらそれも時間だし、であと粉同士がこうやって重なり合うんで摩擦熱が起きるんですよね。であとローラー通す時も力入ってますし、あとその後袋をかぶせて寝かせるじゃないですか。であれも時間効果じゃないですか。科学的な根拠があるわけじゃないんで、全部自分の妄想なんで、これはずっと右下に個人的な見解ですって注射米印でつけておいてください。
By this point, it may sound as if Fujisaki has discovered the perfect equation for noodle making, but he does not claim that. There is no proven scientific formula behind it. In his own words, it is all his imagination. Then Fujisaki slams the brakes on his own theory. This is not a universal answer for every ramen chef. It is a working hypothesis he continues to build each morning by watching, touching, testing, and thinking. It is also his philosophy. And yet the conclusion produced by that philosophy is brutally simple. Noodles begin to change from the moment they are finished. That is why he makes today's noodles today.
だから2日目の麺はグルテンいっぱいできちゃってるんですよ。だから打ちたての麺しか使わないみたいな。そうですそうです。ラーメンの真ん中みたいのが多分いつか見つかるんですよ。まだ見つかってないと思います。それは足りてないって思いがすごい大事な気がします。圧倒的に。